Space Cop was I put it on and a bunch of friends were over. We were like having, fun and like, drinking and stuff. There were like 6 people at least. At the very least, 6 people in the room watching. And as the film goes on, slowly, one by one, people started leaving the room and doing other things and just like going to other parts of the house to like hang out one at a time. And the mood just like soured and was like, it was one of the most like depressing things I've ever seen in my entire life. And until I was the only person left watching it, and it was about half an hour through the movie, and I was like, I can't fucking do this. And it was like the most boring, unfunny, unsatisfying thing I'd ever seen in my life. And so I was just like, holy shit. And then I stopped watching as well. It was like literally maybe the most depressing experience I've ever had, like watching a movie. Because I was expecting it to be like kind of funny. I was expecting to like maybe like one joke, but it was just like it was such an embarrassingly written movie that just ugh. It was so cringe, the entire thing.
Some of these criticisms that you'll hear are the same ones that others, like Redlettermedia, have made. The Plinkett reviews of the prequel movies pretty much were the defining reviews of them for years and years. Looking back on them, there's a lot of wince-inducing moments in those, a lot of unnecessary fluff, and just downright bad critiques. Like, seriously, black people don't like Star Wars? Eat a dick, jackass. However, for many, those videos were the first time someone really did a thorough breakdown of why the prequels didn't work. People my age saw these movies when we were teenagers and young adults, and we still thought they were awful, but when you're that young, you generally don't know why it's bad, just that it didn't resonate the same way the original trilogy did, so having videos that were so thorough was cathartic and eye-opening. So yes, you are going to see me repeat a few things you've probably heard before, but hopefully I've got some more useful insights than, "What's wrong with your face?" in a silly voice.
One of the jokes that was like really, really bad, it was like high school level shit. Junior high level shit. I gave it a 2 because despite it being maybe the worst movie ever made, I like Redlettermedia, so I bumped up my rating by 1.
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Oh man, that never gets old. That never gets old.
So, now that we can hear each other. Wizard!
Fucking God, holy shit, really? This is so I couldn't even remember this movie. Oh my God. Oh boy. Oh my fucking God. I've watched this before and somehow this just caught me off guard. I'm just looking for a tiny clip to put in as a reference. This is unbearable. This is like maybe the worst movie ever made.
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah. It only amuses itself. I'm done looking for clips. That's as much as I can tell. I can't it's like maybe the worst movie. I couldn't finish it. I legitimately couldn't finish it.
Well, what is this picture we found? Is this of that?
Oh, no.
Is that you? How do you know if that's you or not? And look at, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, but I cannot take my eyes off Dick the birthday boy. Yep.
Honestly, who said that's a great idea?
Yeah.
I think one of the things some of you might have thought of looking at footage from this or hearing me describe the concept is that it seems very, very similar to Half in the Bag, Redlettermedia's movie review series. And yes, those similarities are certainly there. Both are offshoot movie review shows in which a group of people from a production company known for their popular character-hosted review series talk about their feelings towards films, all while using the tongue-in-cheek, deliberately shitty framing device of working at a business that deals with VHS tapes. Justin said in an AMA that the similarities are coincidental, that rental reviews came out because they already had the VHS store set and decided it should be used for something. But it does feel a bit too similar in its setup and humor, especially when you consider that a lot of the Screenwave crew are openly fans of Redlettermedia and have referenced them on rental reviews.
But the most bizarre thing here is that the premise of the video is that it's being reviewed by Redlettermedia. They're watching it and reviewing it on their YouTube channel.
Mick, what did you think of Meme Lover?
Fucking crazy.
I think comparing the two is really interesting though, regardless of whether or not the similarities were intentional, because you can really see why Red Letter Media stuff works where Rental Reviews doesn't. I mean, on a basic level, you have the fact that the RLM guys are generally funnier and more charismatic and tend to have more in-depth things to say about the subject matter. But on a more practical level, then, I don't think these guys have good screen energy. The thing about RLM is that they have essentially 3 unscripted movie conversation series. There's Half in the Bag, normally hosted by just Mike and Jay, in which the two talk about a recently released film. There's Best of the Worst, which has a rotating roundtable cast, a mostly chill atmosphere, and focuses on old, bad, and obscure media. Then you have Review, which has a rotating cast of 2 people talking about mostly older, culturally important films, and analyzing their legacy, impact, and their own feelings on it. This setup works great because it allows you to tailor your watching preferences based on what sort of content or style you might be in the mood for. For example, I generally don't watch a lot of Half in the Bag these days because I personally find it to be a bit too cynical for my taste, and I don't really watch a lot of contemporary movie reviews anyway. However, if there's a review video that interests me, I'll give it a watch because I can usually expect it to have some interesting insights on a specific work that I might also be interested in. And Best of the Worst is not one I regularly watch because there's so much of it, but I can generally throw on any episode that doesn't feature Max Landis and have a good enough time if I just want something chill and low-key and occasionally really funny.